So about a month ago, I went to one of GameStop's brand new retro game stores, and the experience was not good. So I waited about a month and went to two more of these retro GameStops to see if things have gotten any better. And in this video, we're going to talk about my experience with them, and I'll show you what I bought. Now, I've had quite the string of poor experiences with the GameStop. You know, anything from them sending me a broken Xbox 360 to them sending me a PS5 filled with cockroaches. So yeah, you never know what you're going to get with GameStop. Let's see what we find this time. And let me just give you a quick rundown of the first GameStop I went to in my last video, and basically this is it. It's essentially a corner of the store that was turned into a retro, and it's just got a handful of games here. There's like maybe 50 total games, 360, PS3, Wii U. Now looking back at the first store, I can't say I'm surprised because it's GameStop, but I am disappointed that a multi-billion-dollar company couldn't come up with something better than this after hyping it up. But I decided like it can't all be this bad, right? So I went to two more GameStops. You'll see one later where the employee kind of spilled some beans on corporate, and the next one up is actually in Florida. So let's check that one out now. And sure enough, this is what I walk into. It's literally the exact same setup. Maybe instead of 50 games, we have like 75 games maybe, but let's just take a closer look at this. You see the top shelf, again, it's just empty game cases, kind of add some color and stuff. I don't hate it, but it's at the same time, it's like, what's the point, guys? Just kind of just filling out more space. And you can see we got 360 games, PS3 games. We actually have a lot of Wii U games, like relatively, like there's a Wii U game there, a couple there. We got a stack here. And then here at the bottom is like about as retro as you get. We got OG Xbox, some PS2. I think there's some like 3DS in here, hidden somewhere in here. Yeah, there's some 3DS over there, which I have some more photos. I'll show you closer up. And you can see here we have, OG Xbox and stuff. We got like MX Unleashed, Soul Calibur 2, and just like the standard classic GameStop box, which means it's just a loose disc. Star Wars Battlefront 2, Doom 3. So it's not like they have bad games or like bad prices here. Like these are all about $10, but there's just nothing special about it. And then here's where I think it gets a little bit more interesting is we have some PS2 games, but guys, there's not a single in-box PS2 game or PSX game as they call it here, PS1, whatever. They're all disc only, which like it's fine, I guess, but dude, a total of 10 PS1 and PS2 games. But let me go ahead and give you some price comparisons here. We'll see what price they're charging here versus price charting, which is basically market value, and we'll see what their prices come out to. All right, so we can see first here we have Crash Bandicoot Warped, which is a PS1 game, and I look it up, and loose it goes for $8.75, so it's actually about $1 cheaper at GameStop. You got it for $8 instead of $8.75. And now another one that stands out here to me is Metal Gear Solid 3 because it's going for $30. So let's go ahead and check this one out and see if that's close. And it's a bit over because loose it goes for $24, and here it's for $30. It's loose because it's not in a real case. Now next up we can see all of these, a mix of DS and 3DS games, and these are interesting to me because 90% of these are loose, which kind of makes sense for these portable games. Most people just throw away their cases. I don't know why, but they do. We also got some, actually here are some games that are in the real box, like New Super Mario Bros. 2, Donkey Kong. So it's kind of just, again, a mix of games here. Now next up I got to show you this other game I found because just like, let me just show you. I didn't see this until I really searched through these photos because it's just hidden up here. So in the top left-hand corner, we have Left 4 Dead 2 for the 360, and if you look closely, you can see it's listed for $39.99. Guys, I remember this game going for like $10 a year ago, and it does go for more now. It goes for $20 loose and $25 complete, but that means GameStop's still listing it for almost double market value. And does it have a manual? Probably not, because GameStop, they're just like always missing cases and manuals. I don't know how they have so many missing, but you know who isn't ever missing cases and manuals? Well, that's the sponsor of today's video, Factor, because they don't sell video games. And in case you don't know, what Factor does do is deliver fresh, never frozen meals straight to your doorstep. And I know what you're thinking, like you don't want to take time out of your day to cook this meal when you could be playing some GTA 6. And listen, I get it, but that's the great part about Factor. All you do is pop this bad boy in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you're done. Now, if you do actually want to cook, you can check out HelloFresh because they actually own Factor now. But man, I love Factor because it's just no work goes into it. Usually when I go to the office to film every day, I bring either a PB&J or I go out to eat. And Factor is a nice alternative because it's like, it's better than PB&J obviously, but I'm not spending nearly as much money as I do going out to eat. They also have a ton of add-ons. Like I have this cold brew latte protein shake here, and like I don't even like coffee, but man, that stuff's really good. So if you guys are ready to get some good food without putting any of the work in, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code JacobR50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code JacobR50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Now, one of the more interesting things to me about this GameStop was the accessories. So we actually have a handful of just interesting accessories. Like we have a PS1 controller here. You can see we actually have these little spacers around the analog stick, I guess, to help them from drifting like while they're in the package, which is actually nice. And I'm surprised GameStop's doing that, but like props to them. We also have some Xbox 360 hard drives, which is kind of cool to see. So yeah, I think this GameStop was a tad better than the first one, but still just not good. And next up, we'll have another GameStop that was actually in North Carolina, so we're kind of getting some variables, across the country from different GameStops here. And this one is where I bought something from and also had the employee that spilled some beans, so let's go ahead and get into that one. Let's just go ahead and start by showing you what the whole retro section looked like, and guys, here it is. Probably on par with the first one I had, where there's just like not much stuff at all. You got your empty cases at the top. You got your 360 games, PS3 games. This one's even more lacking. Like, there's not even DS or 3DS. I think he might have said there was some in the back, but like no PSP, Vita. And guys, there's no cartridges here. Like, there's no old stuff. Like, there's no like super old retro stuff like Super Nintendo, NES, that sort of thing. It's all like basically 360 and newer, and then like a handful of PS2 and OG Xbox. Like, I see one OG Xbox game here. Apologies for the blurriness, but you can see that's an Xbox game. We have a few PS2 games, and actually, some of these are actually like higher priced games, like Silent Hill Origins. We also have another game here that was like a $50 game or something. We'll get into those in a minute here. So I'm not sure if this is complete or if it's missing a manual or whatever, but we'll just assume it's complete. And it goes for $75 complete, and here it's for $44. So like, I don't know if there's something wrong with the game or like wrong with the case. Maybe it's beat up or something. I didn't take a close look at it, but guys, that's pretty good. Even if it's loose. It goes for $50 loose, and GameStop's selling it for $44. So that's a really solid price. So props to GameStop on that one. Next up, we got Silent Hill Origins, which is for the PS2, and you can see, well, you can't really see it, but it goes for $95 here. And you can see that GameStop's price charting has it for $90 loose or $130 complete. So this is probably somewhere in between there. It's got some like, sticker wear. It's got stickers, GameStop stickers all over it. It might be missing the manual. I don't know. But again, another high-priced game that's actually a pretty solid price from GameStop. Now guys, the part I don't get about this is if you go to GameStop's Twitter page, they're retweeting a bunch of people that are supposedly finding good stuff like Game Boy games, PSP games. This one guy supposedly found a bunch of inbox NES and Super Nintendo games for super cheap. Like, where are all these games at? Are they all hoarded in one store? Are these posts real? Like, I don't understand. I mean, like, the three I've been to just barely have anything. So, what? Now, one cool thing we found is that they actually had some retro consoles here. Now, I say retro consoles as in like 2 360s. That's literally all they had, is a couple 360 Slims. You can see here. So we actually do have a 360 Slim in this box here, which we'll check out here in a minute and see what kind of condition it's in, see what kind of retro stuff they're selling. And this is the part that really got me and that was really interesting. This guy said that most of the inventory they have put out is inventory they had before the retro GameStop thing even started. Like, this is just inventory they had in the back that was just sitting there, I guess, just not for sale. And then when they told them to make a retro GameStop, they're like, well, I guess we'll just take some stuff from the back. And they're apparently getting some stuff from the warehouse, but let me just play some clips for you, and you can just kind of interpret it for yourself.
Most of the stuff that we've had is stuff we've had on hand for a while that just nobody was interested in.
Gotcha.
We're designated as a retro store, we had to put it out.
And yeah, this guy basically, he also said that there's basically not enough retro stuff for there to be more than a wall, which is just sad for GameStop. You can listen to that as well.
Unfortunately, when it comes to the retro stuff, there's not enough of it to justify any one store having more than pretty much just that.
And then eventually this employee he got real. Like, he said, he doesn't see this retro stuff being a thing at GameStop for very long. You can listen to that as well.
I don't see it being a long-lasting thing. GameStop in and of itself, just this year alone, has been doing more interesting things.
And the best part, he eventually got into just kind of ripping on corporate. Like, I'm not going to explain it to you. I'll just let you listen to what he said.
Corporate is kind of on the same intelligence level as, like, they're basically the tall Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
So yeah, guys, just kind of wild that even the employees they know things are not going as they should. But guys, let's go ahead and get into this console that I bought from him. So you can see here we got some stickers on the side, and the funny part again is it's in an Xbox One box, and they're just like they wrote Xbox 360S 250 gig on it. It does have the GSRF for refurbished, but I think he said in store it was pre-owned, so I would expect it to be used and not refurbished. Let's go ahead and slice this thing open. All right, first of all, we did buy this Halo Anniversary game, which we'll get into in a second. But the console itself came with an HDMI cord. Got the power cord. Wow, we got the correct power supply. That's good to see. We also have we have a legit controller. Hold on. Oh, that's a did not expect that. All right, that's actually a pretty. Oh no, you guys know what's coming. I'll show you in a second. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, well the controller itself pretty good. It looks like they replaced the sticks at some point because they don't feel like they're definitely not OEM sticks, but they're pretty solid and they're better than beat up ones. Yeah, other than that, not bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at this game here. So it's got this nice little sleeve. We got the game, and wow, this case is super clean. Okay, I see you. Let's take a look at the disc here, and the disc is not bad. Definitely not resurfaced or anything, but there's barely any scratches to start with. But now looking at this console here, guys, They did it again. It's magic erased. I don't get it. Why does GameStop scratch up their consoles? Like, dude, just look at that. Look how many scratches are all over this thing. We'll probably try to throw some B-roll on the screen so you can see it better, but it's micro scratches literally across the entire bottom. Oh my gosh, the top is the worst. Wow, there's even there's a spot where it wasn't magic erased because there used to be a sticker. The stickers saved this thing from being fully magic erased. You gotta be kidding me. It's like, it's even slick now because it's like, it lost so much of its texture that it's hard to hold. And then flipping to the back, the warranty seal is definitely broken, obviously, because they've opened it and done something to it. I don't know. I thought it was used, but maybe it's refurbished. You never really know with GameStop. It's kind of a mixed bag. We do have a 250 gig hard drive here. Let's plug it in and see if this thing even works. I have no hope. All right, got this bad boy plugged in. Let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's turning on. The disk drive was actually partially open because it just closed itself. Let's go ahead and start and see if the controller connects. Okay, I see you. Controller's good. You know, give it a little shake test and it still stays connected, which is surprising for a 360. Let's go ahead and set this bad boy up. Starting off strong here, it looks like the console is not banned, which is good. I have seen banned consoles multiple times in the past. Looks like it's actually updated as well. When consoles go in here on the main menu, let's go ahead and eject the disk drive, see if that okay, shoots out perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and put a disc inside. It's a miracle. It's turning on. It's reading games. Wait, hold on. First of all, are you kidding me? Microsoft just kicked me back to that new dashboard that looks like crap. There it is, all stretched out and everything. How did that happen? I didn't sign in or anything. Okay. Let's go ahead and eject it, turn it off, and then yeah, we'll open it up and take a look at the inside. So console partially opened here, and you can see all the screws are still here. The case is fully intact, so good stuff so far. Let's keep going. All right, so console opened up, and I figured out what they did to this console. So you see this little connector right here there's nothing plugged into it. Usually this motherboard right here has basically a PCB that's kind of plugged in that sits right about there, and it actually houses the 4 gigabytes that are built into some 360 Slim consoles. Now this one I guess they removed because it was corrupted or some other reason. I don't know why. Not really a big deal because they put in a 250 gig hard drive, but thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.